love the Eagles as much as we do, then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. The tension in Philadelphia is heating up, and the latest buzz coming out of the Eagles locker room has the entire NFL community raising eyebrows. According to several sources close to the team, head coach Nick Sirianni has reportedly reached a breaking point with tight end Dallas Goedert. Yeah, you heard that right. One of the core offensive weapons in recent years might be on his way out. Rumors say Sirianni is done dealing with Goedert, and that he's made it clear to the front office that he doesn't want him around anymore. It's the kind of headline that sends shockwaves through the fan base, especially when you consider how integral Goedert has been in Jalen Hurts' passing game. But something must have gone seriously wrong behind the scenes, because this isn't the kind of decision that happens overnight. From what's being whispered, it's not about performance. It's about attitude, communication, and perhaps even trust. Sirianni has always been a fiery guy, and when he draws a line, he sticks to it. Still, the question remains, what could have happened between these two to cause such a deep fracture inside one of the NFC's top teams? If we rewind the tape a little, the Eagles have been dealing with some internal friction for a while. Last season ended on a sour note, and while the offense was still explosive, you could sense that not everyone was on the same page. Insiders have hinted that Goedert was increasingly frustrated with his role in the playbook, especially after the team started leaning more on the run game and giving more red zone looks to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. That shift reportedly didn't sit well with him, and tensions began to build. Now, it's important to note that Sirianni is known for emphasizing team-first mentality. No divas, no exceptions. If a player starts questioning the system publicly or even subtly in team meetings, that's a quick way to get on the wrong side of the head coach. Could it be that Goedert's frustration boiled over one too many times? Maybe it was a confrontation in practice, a comment during film review, or just a pattern of behavior that finally crossed the line. Whatever it was, the damage might already be done. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting. Reports suggest that Sirianni didn't just express frustration. He outright told the front office he's ready to move on from Goedert. That's a big deal, because it's rare for a head coach to make that kind of statement about a veteran starter midseason. Usually, teams handle internal issues quietly. But Sirianni has never been the type to sugarcoat his emotions. He's passionate, outspoken, and sometimes brutally honest. If he's saying he doesn't want Goedert anymore, that signals a total breakdown in trust. There's even speculation that certain assistants have tried to mediate the situation but haven't made progress. And the locker room? Reportedly divided. Some players back Sirianni's tough love approach, while others think the coach might be pushing one of their key offensive leaders away unnecessarily. The vibe around the NovaCare complex, from what insiders say, feels tense, like something big could drop any day now. Trade? Release? Suspension? No one's sure yet, but it's clear that something major is brewing. Let's not forget, Dallas Goedert has been one of the league's most reliable tight ends when healthy. His chemistry with Jalen Hurts is undeniable, his blocking underrated, and his presence over the middle of the field often opens up opportunity for the deep shots that define this Eagles offense. Losing him would be more than just losing a player. It would be losing a rhythm, a trusted safety blanket for Hurts. So, why would Sirianni risk that? Some suggest it's about setting a tone, sending a message that no one, not even star players, are above accountability. Sirianni has talked publicly about buying in, and maybe he feels Goedert hasn't been doing that lately. Or perhaps it's deeper. Maybe there's a personal rift, a clash of leadership styles, or even a disagreement about offensive philosophy. When pride and ego mix in a high-pressure environment like the NFL, small sparks can quickly turn into full-blown fires. And right now, this one looks like it's starting to burn out of control. From the fan perspective, the reaction has been explosive. Social media is flooded with debates, memes, and speculation threads. Some fans are furious at Sirianni, accusing him of letting his emotions override football logic. Others side with the coach, arguing that discipline and unity come before individual talent. Eagles Nation is known for its intensity, and this situation is feeding that energy. Local sports radio shows are going off the rails. Hosts debating whether Sirianni has lost control of the locker room, callers demanding explanations, and analysts dissecting every word from recent press conferences. It's chaos in the best and worst way. The team's upcoming games will be under a microscope now. Every snap involving Goedert, or his absence, will be analyzed to death. It's the kind of storm that can either unite a team or completely fracture it. And the scary part? We might not have seen the full fallout yet. Behind closed doors, though, it's said that some players are trying to calm things down. Veterans are stepping in, leadership groups are having meetings, and even Jalen Hurts is rumored to be acting as a peacemaker. Hurts has always been composed and diplomatic, and if anyone can bridge this gap, it's him. But there's also talk that the trust between Goedert and Sirianni might already be beyond repair. You can fix schemes and plays, but trust? That's another story. If the reports are true, and Sirianni has really made up his mind, the front office faces a huge decision. Do they back the coach or the player? The Eagles have big aspirations, and internal drama like this can derail a season fast. It's the kind of story that reminds everyone that behind every highlight reel, there's a lot of human tension, ego, and emotion simmering underneath. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. As the days go by, the tension around this situation is only growing stronger, and the whispers inside the Eagles facility are getting louder. Some insiders are now claiming that Nick Sirianni's frustration with Dallas Goedert didn't start this week. It's been bubbling under the surface for months. Word is, this goes back to off-season workouts, where Sirianni reportedly wanted more commitment, more fire, and more vocal leadership from his veterans. Goedert, known for his laid-back personality, wasn't that guy. While he handled his work professionally, some coaches supposedly felt he was too quiet, not setting the emotional tone Sirianni expects from his locker room leaders. Things apparently took a turn during the first few games of the season, when communication issues on key plays led to visible sideline disagreements. Cameras might not have caught them all, but according to people close to the team, there were moments when Sirianni's frustration boiled over. And now, what was once just mild tension might have crossed in a full-blown disconnection. When a head coach and a player stop seeing eye to eye, the locker room feels it, and that ripple effect can become impossible to contain once it starts spreading. Speculation about a possible trade has now entered the conversation, and that's where things get really spicy. Teams across the league are reportedly keeping an eye on the situation, waiting to see if the Eagles decide to test the market for their star tight end. The timing would be shocking. The season's heating up, the playoff race is starting to shape, and trading a key offensive piece could shift the team's chemistry entirely. But for some executives, it's all about managing egos and maintaining culture. Sirianni has proven that he values unity over star power, and if he truly feels Goedert isn't aligned with his philosophy, a trade could be seen as addition by subtraction. Fans have already started guessing destinations. Maybe the Chargers, desperate for a reliable tight end after losing key pieces, or the Bengals, who could use another big target for Joe Burrow. Even teams like the Dolphins and Texans have come up in discussions. The question is whether Philly would actually pull that trigger, or if all this noise is just leverage in a bigger power play inside the organization. Inside the locker room, players are reportedly walking on eggshells. When something like this happens, it's never just about one player. It becomes about tone, energy, and trust. Some veterans are quietly frustrated, feeling like these types of leaks shouldn't even be getting out. Others believe the media storm might actually force the team to address the issue publicly. It's said that leadership meetings have been tense, with Sirianni emphasizing accountability and commitment while never mentioning Goedert's name directly. Yet everyone knows who he's referring to. That kind of indirect message can either motivate or isolate, depending on how it's received. And for younger players, this kind of turmoil can be confusing. They see a respected veteran possibly being pushed out and start wondering about their own standing. Sirianni, for his part, seems to be doubling down. Insiders claim he's fully confident in the next man up mentality, trusting his coaching staff to adjust. But fans can sense it. There's a storm brewing, and even the team's usual cool-headed confidence seems to be cracking under the pressure of constant scrutiny and internal drama. Meanwhile, media coverage around Philadelphia has turned this situation into a full-blown soap opera. Every local sports show is dissecting Sirianni's press conferences word by word, trying to decode hidden meanings. When he says, "We expect everyone to buy in," fans immediately assume he's talking about Goedert. When he praises other tight ends in passing, it sparks new theories. It's become a 24/7 narrative, and the more the coach avoids the topic, the more people believe something serious is going on. National outlets have picked up the story too, with analysts debating whether Sirianni's emotional style is becoming a liability. Some call him a culture enforcer, others call him too reactive. But the truth might lie somewhere in between. Sirianni's passion is what makes him effective, yet it's also what can ignite conflict when things don't go his way. And in a city like Philadelphia, where the fans and media breathe football with almost religious intensity, once a rumor like this gains momentum, it's nearly impossible to put it back in the box. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. From Dallas Goedert's perspective, things look just as complicated. He hasn't made any public statements, but his body language on the field and in interviews has become a topic of intense scrutiny. Some reporters noticed him avoiding eye contact with Sirianni during pre-game warm-ups. Others say he's been quieter in the locker room. Of course, all of this could just be normal media exaggeration, but perception often shapes reality. If a player starts feeling alienated, his performance can drop even without realizing it. And once the fans pick up on that energy, the pressure multiplies. Philly fans are loyal but brutally honest. If they sense conflict, they'll call it out. Goedert has always been admired for his toughness and work ethic, but if this narrative continues unchecked, it might start overshadowing everything else. Maybe he's frustrated, maybe he's hurt, or maybe he's just trying to block out the noise. Either way, this whole situation has become bigger than football. It's about pride, communication, and whether the coach-player relationship can ever be repaired once that invisible line of trust is crossed. The bottom line is this: something's got to give. Either Sirianni and Goedert find a way to reconcile, or one of them will eventually have to go. That's just how these stories end in the NFL. You can't have lingering tension between a head coach and a key player without it bleeding into the field. The Eagles are chasing a Super Bowl, but distractions like this can derail even the most talented rosters. If this truly is the beginning of the end for Dallas Goedert in Philadelphia, it'll mark the close of an era, one defined by grit, connection, and some unforgettable moments. But if there's still a chance to salvage things, it'll take humility on both sides. Maybe a sit-down meeting, maybe a clear-the-air conversation, maybe a reminder that winning heals everything. For now, fans, media, and teammates are just waiting. Waiting for someone to break the silence, waiting for the next headline, waiting to see whether this is just another rumor or the start of a major shakeup in the city of brotherly love. Speculation regarding the timing, debut, and immediate impact of McCaffrey's first games with the Eagles is driving conversation across all media, as rumors hint at carefully planned introductions to maximize both performance and fan engagement. Analysts suggest that the coaching staff may gradually integrate him into game plans to ensure conditioning, minimize injury risk, and build chemistry with quarterbacks, receivers, and offensive linemen. Fans are buzzing with debates about potential highlight moments, imagining dramatic rushing touchdowns, acrobatic receptions, and decisive plays in crucial matchups. Insider chatter implies that McCaffrey's first game could set the tone for the season, impacting morale, media narratives, and team identity. Fantasy football participants are eagerly recalculating points projections, anticipating explosive scoring contributions, and adjusting strategies to account for his dynamic involvement in both rushing and receiving stats. Media coverage highlights the balance between strategic preparation and the excitement of seeing one of the NFL's premier athletes make his debut in a new system, underscoring the anticipation that has enveloped Philadelphia. Rumors also suggest that opposing defenses are actively formulating contingency plans, knowing that McCaffrey's presence changes everything from pre-snap alignments to coverage schemes. Overall, the build-up is creating a unique convergence of strategy, hype, and expectation, with McCaffrey's first appearances serving as both a tactical challenge and a cultural event, reflecting a city and a league captivated by the narrative of a transformative signing poised to redefine the Eagles' season trajectory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.